Oh
Game of the
Lord.
year, 2020. Astrobot won game of the year.
Oh my god.
And this gonna really
This is
get y'all.
embarrassing.
I don't see how in the hell Astrobot won. Now I understand people love their 3D platformers, aka your Mario lovers, but I mean its competition was Metaphor Refantasio, a game that's very similar to Persona. I think it was made by the same people or people who left that studio went to make their own game, and it's kind of almost the same thing, just a different name. Black Myth Wukong, a Souls Chinese like game based off of the Journey to the West story, and a phenomenal ass game. Yeah, it wasn't made by From Software, but it was a good, gorgeous, listen to me, gorgeous with a G, very highly detailed. I don't know how they got this to run so flawlessly on the system. Actually, I don't believe it did. I think it has some issues. Final Fantasy Rebirth, a sequel to remake that they broke into 3 parts. I don't know how. I don't know why they chose to do that. Then you have Balatro, an indie game, and an indie game in the truest sense, but a poker-esque based indie game. And then this is where the Game Awards is really kind of getting out of hand. The next and last nominee, it's not even a game. It's a DLC expansion to a game that really had everyone in an uproar because you're giving it to DLC, and then DLC that of a game that won Game of the Year already. So people were a little perturbed at that, like, yo, what are you doing? There already was the controversy about the remake being up for grabs, but now you gonna do a game, you gonna do DLC, not even a full-fledged game. And I'll be the first to say it. As much as I enjoyed Shadow the Erd Tree, this should not have been nominated. Elden Ring had its time in the sun. It won its accolades, it won its awards. This was really just grasping at straws. They could have been picked anything else. There were a lot of bangers in big games this year. I don't know how this came up there. I'm gonna keep this short. Black Myth Wukong should have won Game of the Year, and it did not win because of the controversy of where the game was made. We will not get into that, but I played Black Myth Wukong, and yes, it is a Souls-like game. It is very difficult, but it did things differently than your traditional Souls-like game. When you got unalive, hey, you didn't lose your currency or anything like that. Hey, you just lost. Go back and try again. Get up and try again. That was their whole thing with between the customization, the semi little exploration. It was a great game, and like I said, it was so gorgeous. It was very, very detailed. If you haven't played it and you get a chance to play it, look at his armor. The amount of detail in that game is ridiculous. This is a true PS5 game built from the ground up, how it can look, play, and feel. I say Black Myth Wukong should have. And yes, you're probably thinking, oh, well, Infamous, you're biased. You don't like 3D platforming, etc. That's true. There are some people who don't like Souls games. Everyone's entitled to what they like and how they like, and this is my opinion. It could have been that. We all constantly talk of something new, something different. Well, here it was, but Trees, how do you feel?
Yeah, we not about to play no games. A DLC should not be in this category, and I felt like this was a weak year. And I don't know how Astro Bot won. I think it's borderline criminal that that Astro won over Black Myth, but Black Myth was the correct, and it's gonna be forever snubbed in my book. Listen, if you don't know about Black Myth, like my cousin said, it's a dark action RPG inspired by, the classic novel Journey to the West. It has a lot of nice things, in it, shape shifting abilities, magic spells, and heavy focus on one-on-one boss battles. So I felt like, yeah, it is a Souls like game, but like my cousin said, it definitely it has a way to draw you in, especially where I don't necessarily go out of my way to Souls games. This was the better game out of everything in this category. I felt like this was a weak year, and it should have been anonymous that Black Myth should have won Game of the Year out of everything that's nominated. Now, you can disagree in that opinion or not, but Black Myth, it was like faith versus free will. It was the cost of, being a god, corruption of power. Listen, it was the better game. And I don't understand. Yeah, it should not where the game game is quote unquote based and the whole Chinese thing, I don't think that should go into deciding if it should win game of the year. I think you should just look at the game for what it was and the experience that it
Absolutely.
gave people. And honestly, I felt like it was good enough, if not more than good enough, to be Astrobot. And it's not close in my eyes. So they definitely listen, this was a type of year. If I could audit the goddamn people that picks the game, I would have audited them this year because it doesn't make no sense. It was some other agendas, some politics going on in this year, and why Black Myth didn't win. And it's really unfortunate because, like I said, you can definitely look at 2024 and not have Astrobot, and 2024 would have been just fine. Because you know why? Black Myth was in that year. I'm not even gonna go into the whole shit behind it, but yeah, Black Myth should have won hands down. Fucking
Absolutely.
politics.
I concur. And that's it for this video of Are You Not Entertained podcast. Thanks for hanging out with us. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell so you'll never miss our next hot take. Until next time, are you not entertained?